Hey guys, welcome back to some more F1 2017 and part 7 of season 3 of our Red Bull career mode, and today we have the Canadian Grand Prix. Finally, a race I'm looking forward to because I think we can turn it around. We got a written warning in the last Grand Prix. I didn't show it on camera, but we have to start performing now. If you look at our confidence on the team screen, we're in that red area now, which is, well, you can't actually see, but it's about here on the scale, which is not good. So, yeah, in fact, I'll just show you. I'll get rid of my ugly mug for a second, and you can see it there. So we're performing below expectations, which you can imagine, but I think we've made the right decisions by taking the 6th power unit so early on. We might even take a 7th at some point, but as a general thing in this series, I think I'm going to go down to short qualifying as well, just to keep the time down. I don't think I'm going to do as much practice as I usually do, so maybe my performances will keep sliding down, but hopefully we can have a good performance this weekend at the Canadian Grand Prix. And now let's hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson, who will take you through that Canadian Grand Prix.
I, for one, can't wait to get started. And there's another very excited little chap here beside me as well. It's our very own Anthony Davidson. Great to see you again today.
Thanks for that, Crofty. And I'm really anxious to get underway here. We've got all the makings of a great race today. World champions in competitive cars, lots of drivers on form, and I suspect a few strategists on the pit wall looking to try something a bit different and maybe jump their cars up the order.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and a Red Bull alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Raikkonen, Sergio Perez and Bottas, Ricciardo, Ocon, Grosjean and Nico Hulkenberg, Massa, Magnussen, Carlos Sainz and Palmer, Stroll, Alonso, Daniel Kvyat and Marcus Ericsson. Wehrlein and Stoffel van Dorn completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, you've qualified higher than we expected, so let's try to build on this position throughout the race.
Right guys, we've qualified P2. It was the closest we've ever got to pole position. It was so close. It was just heartbreaking really to only be second. We threw together a lap at the end. It was our second lap on those tyres, so we're left wondering what could have been. This is the setup that we're going for. I am going to actually save it because I forgot to do it last season, so I'm going to save this as our Canada one. You guys getting a bit of a look at some behind the scenes footage here. So there you go. And I'm looking forward to this. We're going to have a look at the race strategy. We're going to slightly overfuel. I think it's an 18 lap race, so we want to maybe put a lap extra in so that we've got rich mix from the start. It is difficult whether to know to start on super softs or ultra softs, but I think we're going to go with the ultras and then move on to the super softs in the race. I can't actually see what Lewis Hamilton's tyres are, which is a shame, but let's get into it. He's on the ultra softs as well, so let's have a good practice start here. Yeah, it felt good. I think if we could replicate that, then that would be good. Ooh, Lewis Hamilton hitting the grass there. But remember last year we had a big incident with Romain Grosjean here last year and had to battle through the field, and I think we managed to finish quite well in the end, but this is certainly my favourite racetrack, and I can't wait to get into the action and have a good ding-dong battle with Lewis Hamilton because it's his favourite track as well. So that I think that was the difference yesterday. He just had the slightly quicker car. We were both pretty much putting 100% into the lap and got the maximum performance out the car, but he was the one with the slightly quicker car on the day, and probably that extra couple of miles an hour on the straight line speed of the Mercedes on every straight, just totted up to that amount of time. Vettel in third place, he's going to be looking to jump us both at the start. I am really nervous for this race start. I really want to do well around here, and I'm confident that we can. After last time out in Monaco, where, you know, we were up in the top 10 at some point after starting at the back. The race in Spain was very good as well, where we started at the back in the wet weather and we got all the way up to 6th, and we were probably the fastest on that day, to be honest with you. It's just that we'd lost so much time coming through the field, but we're showing Lewis Hamilton exactly what we're made of. He's got the advantage, obviously, being on that inside line, but we have got the slightly grippier side, so it is going to be interesting, and I can't wait to get into it, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to it as well. Cautious Paul, if you're out there, I'm really trying to get my first win today for you. Leave a comment down below if you're watching. Really appreciate all the support on the series. So here we go, ready for the lights. Lights out, away we go. It's a decent start for us, although Vettel's got off to an even better start, and he's up into second. He's jumped us. We're just going to take it nice and easy into turn 1. We've got Raikkonen on the outside there, going into turn 2. This is exciting racing. He's just got the extra traction. We had a little bit of wheel spin there, but we are going to have a look into turn 4, but couldn't quite manage it, and now we have to drop down into 4th place and hopefully use our pace to come back at Raikkonen and Vettel here. We lose it a little bit there. That was shades of Vettel 2011 there. And, well, Bottas is now having a look. That's a really disappointing start, and we're going to have to make the comeback here, because we are under pressure at Red Bull, and any good performance that we can get will definitely help. But Lewis Hamilton seems to have controlled the start nicely, and he seems to have got ahead of Sebastian Vettel by more than a second in this first lap, which is exactly what he needed. Remember, they need to break the DRS. Raikkonen is closing in on Vettel, we're closing in on Raikkonen, so this is all helping us in a straight line, obviously. Oh my word, that was awful. So it hit the inside curb and went straight on. Lewis Hamilton leads the Canadian Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel in second, Raikkonen third, and we're following right in 4th place. We're going to try and swing this round and come out with better traction, although we didn't manage to quite do it. And it's through this first sector where you need to not be in dirty air. We're just going to back out of that. We're going to have a look down the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, and we're just sticking it on the outside, and we're through. We're through on Kimi Raikkonen. That's a good move and an important move at this stage to get past him. So we're up to 3rd now, and back on the podium. We still haven't got our first podium result for Red Bull yet. We were having a better season at Renault at this stage last season, which is quite worrying. We definitely need to improve that. We've just set a purple second sector, although it is the second lap, so it's not not as surprising as it maybe would be. But we are closing in on Sebastian Vettel. We seem to have broke Kimi Raikkonen. He's fending off Valtteri Bottas right now, and we're coming in to the final chicane, and we take it a lot better that time, get a better exit than Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton does a 1:14.4. What do we do? A 1:15.2. So only 8 tenths slower than Lewis Hamilton, and considering we were battling past Kimi Raikkonen, that's not bad at all, to be honest with you. And now we're closing in on Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel. It's a really exciting first 3 laps of this Grand Prix. Can we take him on into the same corner that we took his teammate Kimi Raikkonen? We're having a look down the inside and we're through. Little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, but we're through. And that's brilliant. We're up to 2nd, and now we're on the chase after Lewis Hamilton for perhaps our maiden Grand Prix victory. Well, we've just set the fastest lap there with a 1:14.2, so we're definitely closing in on Lewis Hamilton now. We're going to go down to lean mix for this first sector. We want to get some fuel in the bank and make sure that we can attack when we need to, because we are closing in on Lewis Hamilton. And he will be feeling the pressure. He'll be seeing us getting ever closer in his mirrors. We've kind of broke Sebastian Vettel, but still need to keep an eye on him. Going to go back up to standard. Fly through that chicane there. We go oh so close to the wall. That was pretty scary. But things are going quite well here. I didn't quite catch how close we were to Lewis, but I think we are closing in, and hopefully we can get something in the pit stop phase as well. I'm gonna go through into this little chicane. Oh, that's brilliant! That's absolutely brilliant. We went so sweet through there, and we're coming through now. Is it going to be another faster slap? Not quite. Quite a bit slower, to be honest with you. But you can see we're visibly closing in on Lewis Hamilton. This is going to be a really, really exciting race for the Grand Prix victory.
Race control aren't happy with your creative interpretation of track limits. They've given you a 3-second time penalty.
That's really annoying. You know, I think that was a bad corner cut, but it was only really our second of the whole weekend, and to get a 3-second time penalty is really, really harsh. But we're just going to have to deal with it and try and close in on Lewis Hamilton. We've been consistently putting in purple sectors. I think this is going to be a new fastest lap, and it is, but I don't think it'll count because we had the penalty, so that's a big shame, to be honest with you. But as you can see, we are getting closer to Lewis Hamilton, and we are pitting on this lap, so I will stay with the action as we go through it. But remember, we will have to get 3 seconds on Hamilton as well, so it's just made our lives a lot more difficult. I think I might stay out there another couple of laps, to be honest with you, on these ultra softs. We've been putting in purple sectors. I think we are going very nicely indeed. I'm worried to how far to take that corner now. You know, obviously it was pretty extreme last time out, but there, it wasn't too much more legal, if you like, but it doesn't matter, I guess. It doesn't matter. We're now gonna we're gonna actually stay out there. Lewis Hamilton comes in, so we're going to try and do the overcut on Lewis Hamilton. We're going to set a fastest... So we're not actually. We're not. For some reason we're a little bit slower in that third sector, but I think it might be time to put the rich revs on and see what we can do. I'll see you guys when we come into the pits. Right guys, we're coming into the pits. We're in. We're in. That was a bit nervy. I didn't know where the speed limit was, but here we go. We're away. 2.5 seconds. Lewis Hamilton on the pit straight now. So Hamilton back into the lead. It looks like our overcut definitely didn't work. We look to have lost time, if anything, which is really, really not good. We're out now. I'm going to go straight into rich revs and try and use these new tyres. They're 2 laps younger than Lewis Hamilton, so can we close in on him and get that 3-second gap to him as well? It's going to be very, very difficult to win our first Grand Prix here.
Up to the leader is 3.2 seconds. Caution, caution. The virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta.
Well, the virtual safety car's out. I don't know what that's for. Somebody's out of the race. It's a pity it's not a full safety car.
Okay, slow down, slow down.
But
Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
Just need to try and time this perfectly. We seem to be gaining a little bit on Lewis.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
There we go.
Caution.
So that's signs out of the race apparently. The green flags have been waved.
Racing again.
I can't believe that wasn't a normal safety car, to be honest with you, but never mind. I think it did neutralise the gaps, to be honest with you. I don't think it made too much difference, but hopefully we can now concentrate on the race and go and do something good.
We've been awarded a time penalty. We'll go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
Well, this is a disaster, guys. We just hit another fastest lap as well. That's really annoying. It's really annoying. We've got 6 seconds to take now. So I think any idea of winning this Grand Prix is out of the way, but we might be able to win the on-track battle. We're going to have to if we want to finish second. I'm really sorry about that, guys. It's kind of took the excitement out of the race now, having those 2 penalties against us, but it's fine, I guess. We'll just have to deal with it and really try diligently not to cut the corners again. It's just because I'm pushing so hard and sometimes we're just making slight mistakes and wheels are going off the track. But as you can see, we are definitely the quickest guy out there, and we are visibly closing in on Lewis Hamilton. Can we win the on-track battle for the Canadian Grand Prix? I don't know yet.
An issue.
Well, Vettel's got an issue, which is good. That means we should, at the very least, finish second. But I mean, we are just massively closing in on Lewis Hamilton. We're setting fastest lap after fastest lap. There's another one. We're just so quick at this Grand Prix that the tyres are really, really good. The car's in good nick as well. It's just a shame that we've got those penalties, because this would be a really, really exciting battle if we knew we didn't have to get 6 seconds ahead of Hamilton. But we'll stick with the action for now. That's the first time in a number of laps where we haven't set purple first sector, so maybe the tyres are just starting to drop off a little bit, maybe the engine's getting a little bit more worn, but we are 8 seconds clear of Sebastian Vettel now. We're closing in on Lewis Hamilton to try and get this victory. Moral victory, I think you could call it. On-track victory. Oh, we massively locked up there though. That could be our last chance, but we'll keep trying, and I'll see you guys on the last lap. Well, guys, we're on to the final lap.
5.3 seconds.
And as you can see, we've absolutely thrashed Daniel Ricciardo today. Put him in his place. Doesn't look like we're going to quite make it in terms of passing Lewis Hamilton, but Hamilton's just been the better guy today. I've been forced to really attack the corners in order to catch up to him, and we just haven't quite had enough. You know, we've been making a few little mistakes here and there, and it is a bit of a shame. It is a big, big shame to not come out of this with anything more, but I think generally it's been one of the best races of our time at Red Bull so far. We've pushed from start to finish. We've had a great car, a great strategy, and a great weekend here in the Canadian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton wins here in Canada, and we come in second place. We have got penalties to apply, but we will finish in second. It's a really, really good drive to second place. We finish only about a second behind Lewis Hamilton in the end, and it brings an exciting race to me, for me, to an end, and gets our first podium with Red Bull.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm going to go for Marcus Ericsson. He's clearly got a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, and he's matured a lot over the past few seasons, which served him well today.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
Well guys, that was definitely a really enjoyable race for me. We did finish 1.6 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton in the end there, but with the 2 penalties applied, not much else we could do. Daniel Ricciardo really disappointingly down in 9th place. I don't quite know where his pace was. Don't know why he was trapped behind the likes of Grosjean, Ocon. Raikkonen down in 6th as well. Really disappointing for him, but we don't care. We've completed a British 1-2 there, and in the championship we move up close to Daniel Ricciardo. Only 12 points behind him now, but it does look like we might only be in the battle for 5th place as it stands. We definitely need to get a move on in terms of trying to win races if we want any chance of getting back into this title race. But 91 points behind at the moment, it's looking unlikely. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like down below. It really does mean a lot for me and for the channel, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.